Hello, air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. How are you doing? I'm super duper excited for this reading. Why? Because it's Halloween weekend. So we are here to do your Halloween weekend read. This weekend, what's going on? It's a blue moon. Why? Because this is the second full moon happening in October. It is the end of a tough cycle for you all, air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So, yes. It's the harvest moon, right? It's the time where we gather everything that we're going to need for the winter ahead. And the moon is also in Taurus. There's a lot going on. All right, air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Let's see what Spirit has in store for you. Whew. First of all, air signs, don't come over here like that. Okay, no, y'all can't have all the cards. Ain't nobody else get all these cards. No, you can't have all these cards. Okay, I will take 3 or 4 cards. Spirit just told me that I need to make adjustments for y'all. Okay. Thank you. What do you need to release? Negativity. Negative thinking is what you need to release. Prosperity. Oh no, your dreams need a practical plan. Thinking of the other full moon in Taurus. That's crazy because isn't this a full moon in Taurus this weekend? Y'all the only ones that got it. Air signs. Full moon in Virgo. You are good enough. And damn, full moon in Cancer. A personal issue reaches resolution and the energy is gaining momentum. First of all, air signs, I think your reading is the most strongest among the ones that I've done so far. And I don't want to say it like that. I just mean, for some reason, this moon is really working with you because this is the end of a tough cycle for you all. So this is a completion for you all. So that's why this moon is really significant for my Geminis, my Libras, and my Aquarius. Other signs that you may have in your chart are Taurus, Virgo, and Cancer. But Spirit really wants you this moon because everything is coming full circle. So before you start your new beginning, Spirit wants you to focus on what it is that you need to release. And the areas that you're going to look into are, what do you need to release about how you're planning to do what it is you need to do? How are you planning to commit to your dreams? How are you planning to, try to move these over so you can see them all, because I don't always pick them up, so I apologize. What do you need to release regarding your practical plans? So maybe you haven't made practical plans for your dreams because you're afraid. So fear is something that you need to release. Or maybe you haven't made plans for your dreams because you feel like you don't have time. Well, now we need to look at what is it that's taking up so much of my time. Spirit wants you to know that you are good enough. That might be something self-love, self-care, self-value might be something that you're lacking right now. And so that might be something that you really want to take a look at. And then it says a personal issue reaches resolution. I'm actually not really sure what that's about just yet, air signs, but that's why this is so important, because I feel like this is a issue that you might have been dealing with for a while now, this personal issue. This is going to be a great time for you to cleanse water signs. No, air signs. I just did water signs. Air signs, this will be a good time to cleanse. Clean your space. Clean yourself. Ooh, Spirit. All right, let's see. What do we have? What do we have? What do we have? intention, remembrance, and masculine. Different setup. Underneath the bottom of the deck is balance. So yeah, y'all even getting a different setup. Okay. Intention, wand. Your what do you need to release is actually your ritual, air signs, because spirit really wants you to focus a lot on what it is you're releasing, because it's your intention. That's your magic. So really focus in on this moon on what it is you are letting go. Cleansing is really important for you. Your ancestors are working with you, so please, air signs, make sure that you buy your ancestors a nice meal. You cook them something really nice. I don't care if you just make them some rice and put it on an altar, but you need to remember them. And you know what's crazy? I saw that last night. I saw this area last night. It's wild. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you are being asked to remember your ancestors this full moon, so make sure that you are feeding them. What's going on, Spirit? Why can't I get a message for this card? Lord God, masculine, I'm not picking up a message. Why? Don't judge me. Toughen up. Be self-reliant. Brave and bold. Become a giant. Honor your male energy. Used wisely, it will set you free. This magic is worked with harm to none. So mote to be. There, it is done. The power of the Lord God is required for the situation you are inquiring about. Toughen up and use the masculine energy that pulses through your very being. Whether you are a male or feminine, you acknowledge the natural presence of both energies that reside within. In order to make up the whole of who you are right now, you are urged to connect with your masculine side to harness the spirit just said this is directly connected to a personal issue. Okay. Whether you are male or female, you must acknowledge the natural presence of both energies that reside within in order to make up the whole of who you are. Right now, you are urged to connect with your masculine side and to harness the driving force of independence. A rational and analytical attitude is required in order to override any emotions that often rule you. Unleash your rebellious streak and be willing to use force if you have to. This is not the time to be passive or accepting. The Lord God is waiting to be called upon so that he can provide you with the tools you need for the battle ahead. With the divine masculine on your side, you can be sure that you are on the winning team. Okay, Ajay. Your emotions have influenced you. Logic needs to be used at this time. Do not accept this offer that's presented. Draw strength from past energies. This situation calls for you to be rational. Being highly driven and competitive serves you well right now. Be a rebel. When calling upon the Lord, you are beseeching the male essence of the all. He is fatherhood, who offers both protection and strength. The three aspects of the God is seen as nature's youth, father, and elder. You can choose to walk with whichever aspect of the God you are drawn to. Bring into your life at any given time. I needed to read that because it was directly connected. Some of that was directly connected to this personal issue comes to a resolution, and it's because Spirit is asking you to tap into your thank you, Spirit, to tap into your masculine energy, because you spend a lot of time in your feminine energy, and Spirit is trying to create balance. Thank you, Spirit. I was like, I ain't getting no message. I don't know what's going on. I'm feeling real playful. Look, I'm feeling real playful. And look who shows up, inner child. Feeling real playful. Let's see what self-healing messages you have. Home. Oh, excuse me. Family and tribe. Home, letting go. Home, self-love, and letting go. Okay, so what you are healing from, and I just heard one more. What you are healing from, and I'm actually just going to take this one. Thank you, Spirit. What you are focusing on, what you really need to be healing this weekend, air signs, is focusing in on home. Remember, home is where your heart is. Home is also what you make it. Spirit says stop talking and read. Oh, I haven't had to do this much reading in such a long time. I haven't even had to read this book in so long. So what is going on? In the context of this teaching, let's use the word home to describe your unconscious ability to attract intimate partners with the positive and negative qualities your parents instilled in you. This card honors the wounded child in you that keeps recreating home, hoping to get your childhood developmental codependency needs met. You might even provoke the other to act or look like your original parent. In a world where so many of our natural emotions were not encouraged and, worse yet, suppressed, you are now encouraged to feel the feelings trapped inside you that consistently sabotage your life. For some of us, home was an amazing, empowering, and happy place, but the most of us, it was lacking. There was unease and hurt. This is imprinted on your nervous system, which forces this dysfunction you had with your parents to rise to the surface with your current partner, and people close to you. So a lot of what you are going through, this sense of having a practical plan, a well thought out plan, feeling good enough, and that personal issue, I'm feeling like is heavily weighted on your inner child and your upbringing, your home. And that is coming to reach a resolution. But yes, and I was saying home is what you make it. Home is what you make it, but when you come from a dysfunctional home, rough or tough upbringing, you learn ways of operating in that system. And one of the things you might learn is that self-love is not important. Well, where you are now, air signs, it is very important, and it is who you are. Spirit wants you to know that there are aspects of your family that you grew up with in your home, because there's a difference between your home and your family and your tribe. Okay? Because home is where, as a child, you are placed, and these are the people that you grow up with, right? But your tribe and your family is the ones that you can create. And so if as a child you were in a setting that seemed rather dark, right, and you couldn't participate in self-love, you didn't have this freedom in the home, Spirit really wants you to let that go. Your ancestors are actually asking you to, a grandmother, there's a grandmother, but an ancestor is really here asking you to let that go, helping you to let that go, because this is somebody in your bloodline showing up. This is an ancestor coming through very strongly for someone, but she wants you to know that the way you were raised, the way you were brought up, is not what your family dynamic has to look like. When you were a child, you looked like this as a child, very sad and lonely and always wishing. I felt like you read a lot You were always longing to feel love where you were. I felt like you were always escaping, always wanting to get out of where you were as a child. And it was because you weren't free. It's because your heart space wasn't open, because of where you were. And I really am sad to say this. But for some of you, this was actually intentionally done. And here is why. Some of it was intentionally done because of the person you were raised by was a narcissist. And then some of you, this was intentionally done because this is part of your healing. This is part of what you came here to do. You came to heal your bloodline. And so your ancestors want you to know that. This specific grandmother wants you to know that, that this was all part of you healing a family curse, right? Because this is running, this runs through your blood. A lot of people before you had a hard time letting it go. They would actually reach, this was the issue in your bloodline. They would actually reach self-love, but when it came to building their own family, they had a hard time letting go. And so when what they couldn't let go actually impacted their new beginning, they actually stayed here. Okay? Spirit is teaching you to persevere through. And you are learning what real self-love is. And so you will be able to let go because you know that part of your self-love is facing what's right behind you, which you've been trying to avoid for so long. But your ancestors have been helping you through and through. And that's because you are meant to, I just heard a household name. You're meant to have a household name or something about a household name. But your name is meant to be big, okay? Your family is meant to be big. And this is where they're trying to take you. That's where it's going, air signs. Because there's been a lot of chaos growing up where you were. I just heard, but I don't even know what it's like to raise a family. You do because you know what it's like to raise yourself. I don't know what it's like to have a successful family. You will because you know what it's like to go in search of yourself. And what you found, you came out as the King of Pentacles. Yeah, you went into hermit mode. Next up, yeah, you've learned to speak up. You've learned to be yourself. Yeah. And the choice, the time will come where Spirit will say, what do you want to do? Because I feel like this happened to everyone in your family. Everyone in your family, in your bloodline, whoever this is, was given the opportunity to really let it go. I think that your family, that's actually the hardest part, is that they had a hard time letting go. It's not that they didn't love themselves. It's they would heal themselves because they knew whoever did them wrong, they knew that wasn't right. So let's say I'm talking about you, but let's talk about your mother for a second. Well, your mother was treated that way because her mother treated her that way. And your grandmother was treated like that by your great-grandmother and your great-great, you know what I mean? So whatever this is, this has come back, and each person in your bloodline had actually was given the opportunity to go within and find themselves and heal themselves from self-love. And they would get here, but they were so afraid to let go. They never did it because part of letting go meant that they had to speak their truth to the family, and they were afraid of that. And I feel like you're not afraid because you're going to create your own family. You're going to actually disconnect from this group of people. And Spirit is going to give you the same option that He gave to your family. Now, when this happens, y'all, healing generational curses is different, okay? It's a different kind of hurt and it's a different kind of pain because you're not just feeling it for yourself, but you're feeling it for your bloodline. And when I tell you it's tough, baby, it's tough, okay? But stay in awareness. Keep your mind keep your mind aware, because that's what's going to help you recognize that, oh, you know what, all of this is not even my pain. And Spirit is going to give you the world. You're going to choose the world. The will turn in your favor. Okay. Air signs, that is all I have for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you have a beautiful weekend of healing. I'm super duper proud of you. Someone's grandmother is very proud of you too. Not just a grandmother, there are other ancestors here, but someone's grandmother just was like, let me talk. Okay. Have a beautiful weekend. Bye.